everyone, so now we are going to start our next topic of mathematics, which is of class 3rd, 4th and 5th, and the topic is lines and shapes. Now have you seen anything on this screen? Yes, you are right that the screen is empty. We are not having anything on the screen. Now you can see a dot over here. Yes, it is a dot, or which is also known as a point. What is a point? The point which have no size and no shape. You can make this point of as much as bigger you want to, or just with using a pencil, a dot. Okay, so this is your point. Now take a look on this. Now again we are having the same line which is just elongated. Again, what is this? Yes, it is a line. So now we are going to categorize this into three things like line, line segment and ray. So just go move ahead. You also note here that this line grows in both the directions. As I have seen that I have started drawing that line from this point. After that we are just elongated that line, and you can elongate a line into any directions, in both the directions you want to. That's why we are having the arrow on both the sides of this line. So we are having three types of line. First one is your vertical line, second one is your horizontal line, and the third one is your slanting line. A line has no beginning and no end. As I have told you that a line can be elongated in both the directions. If like suppose that I am having this line, I can elongate in this direction also and the backward directions also. So it has no beginning or no end, continues in both the directions. You can elongate or continue drawing it in both the direction you want to. That's why we are having arrow on both the side of this line. Okay, if you want, you can elongate it in this direction also and in that directions also. So it can be illustrated by drawing arrows at each end. Now what line segment is? Okay, so it has a beginning and end point. A line segment is, it has a beginning also and a end point also. If you are drawing a line of a fixed measurement, that I want to draw a line of 5 centimeters, so it is going to have a beginning point and an end point also. So that is your line segment, which actually have a fixed measurement, whatever measurement you want to, but it have a fixed measurement. Okay, so part of a straight line between 2 points. We are going to have 2 points. In between that 2 points, we are going to make a line. Okay, so that is going to be your line segment. Line segments start and at a fixed point. It is going to start from a fixed point, and it also eventually end at the another point which is going to be a fix, called an end point. Like you can see in this that there are few dotted lines in both the directions, but since we are having 2 points, this is your beginning point and this is your end point, and the line between these 2 points is known as your line segment. This is a major difference between a line and a line segment, that a line can be elongated or can be drawn in both the direction, but a line segment is actually drawn between the 2 points, between the 2 fixed points. So this is your line segment, which is between point A and point B. And when you are representing a line segment, then we just write the alphabet from where it started. It started from point A, so I have written A, and it ended at point B, so I have written B. And as you can see, I just drawn a line over it. I haven't put any arrows at the termination point of these 2 lines. So this is your line segment. Now we are having few shapes in front of you. There are 2 types of shape we are having, which is first of all is your open shape, and second one is your closed shape. So open shape is starting and end points are different. Any shape in which the starting point and the end point of that is going to be different. Okay, like I have started drawing a U from this point. Okay, and I just continue drawing it and will end this drawing this at this point. So as you can see that the initial or the beginning point of U is this one, and the ending point of this is going to be this one. So since the starting point and the ending point of U are different, so this is going to be your open shape. Similarly, we have started drawing W from here and we have ended it at this point. So this is again going to be your open shape, since it is having a different starting point and a different end point. Similarly, we have started drawing S from here and we have ended it at this point. So again, we are having two different point, initial point and the ending point. So this is going to be your open shape. Similarly for the N, this is your starting point and this is your ending point. Whenever you are writing N, so we just used to do this. Okay, so this is going to be your initial point and this is going to be your ending point. So the open shapes are the shapes which are having the different initial point and the ending point. Okay, so that are your open shapes. Now what closed shapes are? Whenever you are talking about the initial point and the final point, if the initial point or the beginning point of any shape and the end point of that shape is going to be same, or we can say that if I have started drawing something and I just went back to that same point, then that is going to be your closed shape. Like you can see in this O, okay, I have started it from here and just went back to the same point, then that is going to be your closed shape. Similarly, you can see in this that I have started from here, just made this curve, okay, and I am doing the same thing, and after reaching to, I again went to the same point after completing this whole path. Okay, so whenever you are having the same initial and the end point, then that shape is going to be your closed shape. Similarly, you can see in this that I have started from here, and if you are moving in this path, you can see that I have the same initial and the end point. Okay, so this is going to be a closed shape. Similarly for this also. So the starting and the end points are same for that of the closed shapes. Now what polygons are? Polygons are a closed figures. First of all, the main thing for a shape to be polygon is that figure should be closed. Second thing is that are made up of line segment. You cannot use a curved line in that. We should be having a line segment. For any shape to be a polygon, two things are necessary. First of all, that it should be closed, and the second of all, it should be having a line segment. Okay, are called your polygons. It have three or more sides. A closed figure cannot be made up of less than that of the three lines. If you are having just two lines, then you cannot close that figure. So the thing is, if you want to draw a polygon, for that we should have at least three lines or more than that of three. Now what vertex is? Point at which two sides of polygon meet is called your vertex. Like I am having this two line segments, and if you are meeting them at a point, so this where these two line segments are meeting, that point is known as your vertex. As you can see in the next slide, that this we are having this diagram. Okay, this is also your polygon because first of all this is a closed figure. Okay, and the second thing is it is made up of line segments. As you can see that this line is going to have two endpoints. Similarly, this line is also going to have two endpoints. This line is also going to have two endpoints. So we are having three line segments in this, and since this is also a closed figure, so this triangle is known as your polygon. Okay, as well the vertex is, if you are having two line segment and if they are meeting at some point, then that point at which they are meeting is known as your vertex. Okay, so this is your shape, and here we have written the number of vertices that figure is having. Vertex is for a singular one if you are having just one vertex, and vertices if you are having more than one vertex in that diagram. So here we are going to mention the number of vertices in that shape. We are having triangle, we are having 1, 2 and 3 vertices, so 3. Similarly in this shape you can see this is also a polygon since this is closed figure and it is made up of line segments. So we are having 1, 2, 3 and 4 vertices in this second shape. Polygon with 3 sides is called a triangle. If you are having a polygon, then the polygon which is made up of 3 sides is known as your triangle. Quadrilateral is the polygon which is having 4 sides. Okay, so first of all a polygon should be having a closed figure and it should be made up of line segments. As you can see that this is your closed figure and it is made up of line segments. Now I have categorized the polygons into different types. based upon their number of sides they are having. If they are having 3 sides, then they are known as triangle. If they are having 4 sides, then they are known as quadrilateral. So this is the picture of a quadrilateral. Special type of quadrilaterals are, we must have heard about square and rectangle very frequently. Okay, so these are the type of, since rectangle and square both are your quadrilaterals, since both of them are having 4 line segments, but there is a difference in between them. Like we know that in square we are having all the 4 sides equal, and in rectangle we are just having the opposite side equal. This side is equal to this one and this side is equal to this one, okay, but in square all the sides are equal. So I have just categorized that quadrilateral into 2 different types, which is your rectangle, sorry, this one is a rectangle and this one is your square. Now we are having few flat shapes in front of you. Flat shapes, the shapes which we can made on a paper, which we can make on a paper. So this is your triangle. This is the corner, which is also known as your vertex. Okay, so we are having 3 sides in it, 3 corner or 3 vertices and 3 sides. Similarly, we are having, this is your circle and this is your oval. Oval is the shape of an egg, that is also oval. So the circle and this is your oval, we are not having any corner in it, since we are not having any line segment drawn in it. Okay, this is your curved surface, so curved line. So we are having no corner in it and no sides. Flat shapes, the another thing is square. This is having 4 vertices, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it is going to have 4 corners or vertices and similarly 4 sides, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is going to be your quadrilateral, 4 vertices and 4 sides. Similarly, this is your rectangle, which is again having 1, 2, 3 and 4 vertices and 4 sides. So this is also a rectangle quadrilateral, so 4 corners and 4 sides. Now we are going to discuss another way of line, which is ray. Like anything which is having a fixed point, it is beginning from a fixed point, but it can be elongated in one direction as much as you want to. Like you can see that this is your sun and the rays are being started from this point. Okay, so it has started from this point and is being spread all over. So okay, so it is having a beginning point, which is the sun, and it is being spread in all directions. So have you seen something here? Yes, I have seen a sun which is just spreading its rays all over. Now this is your AB, which is the representation of a ray. Yes, some rays from the sun, as I have told you, has a beginning point but no end point. You know that a ray, when it comes from sun, it is having an initial point or beginning point, which is your sun, but it is not having any end point, as it can spread in any length at any length. So the ray is, it is having an initial point, but it is not going to have any terminated point. So now how can we represent it? AB, this is the point from where it is going to start, and this is the point where it is going to reach at that last point. So this is how we actually represent an ray, a ray. So this is the initial point. Since that is fixed, so we are going to have a point over here, and since we can just elongate or continue drawing that in one direction, so we just have put an arrow on this side. Straight line, line segment and ray. Now we are going to discuss about these 3 things which we have already learnt about. Straight line, line segment and ray. In line we do not have any end point, since we can elongate in both the directions, hence we have made arrows on both the sides of this line. Okay, since we can elongate in this direction and this direction as well. Second one is your line segment, which actually have 2 end points. Okay, it is having 2 points, this one and this one. You cannot elongate it, the length of this line segment or this line is going to be fixed. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about ray. That ray has a one end point, and this is the way how we represent an ray, a ray. So this is your AB, and it is having a one end point, and since we can elongate it in one direction, so it is having arrow on one end of it. Now we are having few shapes in front of you, and we are now going to count the line segments in it. So we are having, first of all, we are having a triangle. So as you can see that it have 3 line segments. So these are the number of line segments that figure have. Here we are having a square which is having a 4 line segments. So the number of line segment in a square, or which is a quadrilateral, is your 4. Similarly, this is the figure which is having your 6 line segment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So the number of line segment in this figure is 6. Similarly, this is a picture of an arrow. As you can count, we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 line segments. Now here you can see that there are two endpoints. This is the first endpoint and this one is your second endpoint. So this is also going to be considered as your line segment. Okay. So in all we are having 7 line segments in this arrow. Similarly, in this picture we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 line segment. As you can see that we are having in all 12 line segments. Similarly, this is your star and we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 line segment in it. Now we are going to discuss about angle. What angle is if you are having 2 rays, okay, and if you are going to meet that at a point, then the distance between those 2 rays is going to be your angle. Suppose that this is your first ray and this is your second ray, and if these are meeting at some point, then the distance between those is known as your angle. Like we are having, this is your first ray and this is your second ray, and since they are meeting at this point, so the distance between that is your angle. Similarly, we are having this your first ray, this is your second ray, and they are meeting at this point, so the distance between these 2 is going to be your angle. Similarly, we are having this angle and this angle. Okay, so the distance between these 2 rays is your angle. Similarly, the distance between these 2 rays is your angle. So now, as we are done with our chapter today, we have discussed about lines, shapes and angles as well. This was just an introduction for you, and we are going to discuss about it in another chapter or another lecture. So now just go through these slides and the lecture just to make it clear.